Good evening. Okay, so today I was at work and I was styling and doing an Indian lady's hair. And I was talking to her about Shiva the Destroyer. Because I was making a joke about my hair, how it kind of looks like Shiva the Destroyer. And she goes, "How do you know about that?" And I said, "Well, I studied art. I got my bachelor's in studio art. And the classes that I had to take seemed like they were religion classes with art because most of the religions had a lot of art. Like there's, the Hinduism, Roman Catholicism, even, some of the Quakers and different ones, they all had certain types of art that was depicted. And I think that it's because the pictures can speak more words than maybe what people can, speak. Sometimes if people were ignorant and they were not ever in school and they didn't know how to read, they would do pictures like, pictograms or pics. And it can kind of tell stories, when you look at a picture. And let me see. I wonder if I can, let me see. I would like to look at something. Let me see if I can do this. Didn't mean to do that. No, I kind of want to look. Let me see. Let me go on Safari. Yeah, I'm trying to get on Telegram too. Let me see. I don't think I'm sharing yet, but it could be possibly. Who knows? I don't know. Let me see. A new tab. Picture of destroyer. All right, so let's look at this picture. All right, first of all, let me see if I'm sharing because I don't even know if I'm sharing. Okay, hang on a second. I just want you guys to look at this. Hang on a second. Let me see. Share the screen. All right, here we go. I'll probably be sharing now in a second. So this is the picture that I'm trying to talk to you about. So when you're in a particular religion or something, sometimes they, hopefully it's this one that you're seeing. Sometimes you get all these messages or people telling you things like, "Oh, don't look at that. Oh, that's evil. That's wicked and evil." But sometimes when you study different cultures, you find that each culture has something that's different than what you know. So let me just double check to see if I'm actually sharing. Hang on a second. Let me see if I'm sharing. I think you are screen sharing. Okay, but I want to make sure I'm sharing this screen. I think I am. Okay. So see this one here? I don't necessarily want to say the name a whole lot, but this one you would see like at CERN in Switzerland. They have this by that Hadron Collider thing. It's like this, I don't know, 17-mile circle in the earth that they're trying to smash atoms or something together to try to look at the dark matter or whatever. But I wanted to get a really good picture. If we could see something close up, let me see. Let me just keep looking because I took psychology of art and it was very interesting. And we kind of went over these different taboo-ish type of things, And the more I was looking at them, I was thinking about the Hebrew language and the pictographs and stuff like that. And I thought, well, if each culture has their art, it means something to them. it could mean something totally different to them than what it means to us, right? So, okay, here's a good one. Let's just look at this one for just a second. Where is it? Which one did I pick? Okay. So when I was taking animation, because I got my bachelor's in studio art, you know, I also have a psychology degree and a sociology degree. So these things kind of interested me to see what is the real meaning for the people in their culture, or is this just a depiction that they were trying to make it look like, you know, this particular god, did it really have that many arms, or were they doing it because, let me see, where's one? Okay, this is the one I want to pick. Let's see if it happens again. Is it happening? I don't know. I am screen sharing. Okay, so this is the one I'm trying to get it to go larger. There it is. Okay, so check this out. Ah, where did it go? Darn it, I hate it when that happens. No, I don't want to look at tattoos of that. Shoot. Let me see if I can go back. How did I accidentally get into tattoo design? Okay, there it is. So see this right here? This is the one I'm wanting to bring particular attention to. Kind of interesting that this particular god has more than one arm. And so think about that Hydron collider thing that they have. They have this particular statue over there because they're talking about things going at the speed of light, crashing, you know, atoms, smashing atoms so that they could get into the dark matter. So think about this too. Look, see this? Oh man, what happened here? Okay. See how it's stepping on this little demon thing? So it's interesting to note that in a lot of these particular depictions, as this particular character is moving so fast at the speed of light, it gives the appearance that there's a lot of arms. Woo! It might not even been a lot of arms. It just might have been an artistic expression to make it look like it's moving so fast. It looks like it has a lot of arms. And when it's stepping over a threshold, which right here, you can kind of see that there's a threshold right here. It's got this little demon that it's standing on. Well, demon is also known as darkness or even ignorance. So when we're ignorant about something, when we're ignorant, we're in the dark. We don't know what it means. And I'm wondering why it's taking so long. Hurry up. But when you're crossing a threshold, it's kind of like you go from one room to the next room, and here's the door, and then there's the threshold on the bottom. You're stepping from one room to the next room. You don't know what's going to happen when you make this step to go into the next room. You know, so you could forget what you went in there for and have to go back to the other room to remember. Like Bill Cosby would say, to save steps, he would just hit himself on the butt, because it kind of depicted like walking into the last room he was in and sitting down on the sofa and then realizing, oh yeah, now I know why I went to the next room. So right here where you're seeing this particular character with all the many arms, how it's moving so fast, it is crossing a threshold and stepping on the demon or the darkness. You don't always know when you're going to make a decision to get married or go here or there. You don't always know what's going to happen in the future. So you're going in having a darkened mind, not having understanding, right? Not really knowing what you're doing or getting into. So this is that Shiva the destroyer, stepping on the threshold, stepping on a demon, which is darkness or ignorance. It's destroying the darkness, destroying the chaos, and it's making a move forward. And it's doing it so quickly, it's almost like a twinkling of the eye, like you're making a decision. Oh, aha, I get it. And that also reminds me of this other thing. Let me see. Let me unshare this for a second. When I went, what was it, YouTube? Let me see if I can find that. Okay, hang on a second. Yeah, I probably could have thought about all this before, but I'm just off the cuff. I just got off of work and had to walk my doggy. I haven't eaten anything yet, but I thought I would be consistent and meet at 7 like I usually do. I do have some other people that I invited. I don't know if they're here yet because I'm still on another screen, but let me see. When I'm here, I'm gonna look up Mark Biltz. Let me see. Have you guys heard of him? Mark Biltz. Let me just look really quick. Come on, baby. Okay. Mark Biltz. So what was he talking about? The ancient name of God. Let me see if I can find that. It was really cool. I saw this a long time ago. Let me see. I know I'm not sharing the screen yet, but let me just see if I can do that. Hang on a second. Let me share the screen. Share the screen. Hey, Yoda. I think I saw, Yoda is on here. All right, hang on a second. I'm showing something that's going to relate to what I just finished showing. Okay, keep in mind, we were looking at that Shiva the Destroyer, okay? But now I want you to look at, if you guys ever get a chance, maybe look up Mark Biltz, Pastor Mark Biltz, and he is talking about the name of God, the name of the Creator. But it was very interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to find it in here. He was saying how shalom actually, okay, I'm not going to even, I can't find it, but it's on here. It says the ancient name of God somewhere. I'm going to put it up here. I already didn't go. Anyways, he was talking about the name of God, but he was talking about the word shalom. And shalom is using, I'm going to come back on. Shalom is using Shin. The SH is Shin. And then they don't have a letter for the A other than the ox head, but the L was depicting the Lamed. And then there's a Lamed is the L, but it's the shepherd's staff. It's like the shape of a candy cane, shepherd's staff. And then the O is the Wa, which is a nail. And then the M, they have in the ancient pictograph, they show crashing waves of the ocean. So when you put all those pictographs of those letters together, shalom means to destroy authority attached to chaos. And when I was studying about the psychology of art and looking at Destroyer, Shiva the Destroyer, I thought, whoa, that's interesting. Because it's a very scary look, a blue person with a whole bunch of arms and looking dreadlock things that look like this, and dancing really fast. And I thought about when we have to make a decision or cross a threshold or change even, or make a decision, sometimes we have to step on that darkness or step on that ignorance and just make a decision and destroy that thing that we don't know of, destroy it by taking authority over it and just going with it, just go forward, press forward. A lot of times people don't take steps, they're paralyzed, or they shrink up or shirk up in fear or coward. because they're afraid of the greatness that's within them. And all of us are spirit beings. We're all alive. We all have that life force or energy or the creator living within us. And he wants us to step out of our comfort zone. My comfort zone, I've stepped out of. I used to not like to have to speak in front of people, but that was because I was conditioned not to be talking and stuff. But the cool thing that I'm trying to relate here is that when we have to make a decision or step on darkness or ignorance or the devil's head or whatever you want to say, something that's scary or dark or something that we're not, aware of or afraid. When we take authority and stand on top of it and step over it, it pushes us to the next room. So we go from one room to the next room. We are destroying the authority of that chaos, because a lot of times people, they will be frozen and helpless and depressed and all that type of stuff because they have fear and they're afraid to step into the next room or the next season in their life. Some people don't want to retire. Some people don't want to stay in relationships. Some people want to be in a relationship, but they can't. All these different things, these fears that we all, as human beings or, living people, we all have to go through that stuff. So we all have to overcome. But what I thought was really interesting was that in that Indian artwork that I was seeing from the Hindu people, they have the picture of the person going really fast, spinning really fast, stepping on the threshold and moving over. And then the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew pictograph was also showing in that culture. Shalom means to, was it Shin, Lamed, Uau and Mem, to destroy authority attached to chaos. When we have a lot of chaos going on in our head, when we have wrong teaching or someone taught us something wrong, or we're just plain wrong and we don't know what we're talking about, and someone who knows the truth comes and helps us, they teach us something that we never even knew before. They open our eyes, and in a minute, a twinkling of an eye, we go, oh, wow, they just destroyed the authority that was attached to my chaos. So what I would like to do is to encourage people that if you don't have a small group or you don't have somebody to talk to, you can always come here to my channel, ChaYah Shalom. There's some meanings to that word too. Chai is life, like some people call it chai, and Yah is the name of the creator. And Shalom means to destroy authority attached to chaos. So each one of us has special gifts, and it's amazing to me to know that sometimes the very thing that we have had struggles with, or chaos, or darkness, or even demons, or whatever, a monkey on your back, or whatever thing that you've had, like it was a trial or a tribulation that you've had to overcome, that very thing could be the very thing that you're supposed to be doing. And I often think about Moses in the Old Testament, how the king, they wanted to throw all the babies 3 months and under into the crocodile infested water. So his mother put him in a basket made of reeds. His name was Moses, came from the water. Isn't that funny? Put him in the water, and then he gets adopted by the princess of the Egyptian king. But come to find out later, as he was older, I don't know if he was over 70 or what, but he came back. He could have been the prince of Egypt, which, he was being groomed for. But he came back to those people because he felt that they were being oppressed. And the very thing that, the enemy meant to kill him with water, he ends up putting his staff, by the creators telling him to do, put the staff in the water, and the water parted. That's where the crossing of the Red Sea, or the Dead Sea, crossing of the Red Sea, and all those Israelite people crossed on dry land to the other side. when those Egyptian people were coming after them. So the very thing that could be your downfall, or somebody wants to kill you, or, you know, make you not efficient, telling you shut up all the time, or whatever it is, oppressing you, it could actually turn around to be of your benefit. That's the very thing that God's going to use you to be delivered, to step over that darkness or that chaos, and to take control or command or dominion over that very, very thing. Some people, they say that they're not teachers, and that's probably the very thing that you're supposed to be. But I think everybody's a teacher. Even your dog is a teacher. Nature is a teacher. So don't be afraid. If you know something, at least A and B, you can teach A and B to someone who doesn't even know A and B in the alphabet, right? So that's my little thing that I thought I would put out there. Hey, Yoda, I saw you last night. I don't know who you are. Are you from Star Wars or who? Would you like to talk, or are you just here to listen? Let me know, because I'd like to have a conversation. I'm here. I'm here for you. Thank you for being here, by the way. Hey, you gonna say anything? Anyways,
No, I'm just listening. I'm just listening to you.
Oh, awesome. I know exactly who you are. Well, I was just saying that earlier today, I went to work and I was doing an Indian lady's hair. And I talked a little bit with her that I knew a little bit about her culture, because I studied sociology, study of groups of people, and art. And maybe you could listen to the video if you didn't hear the first part. But I thought every culture has symbols, signs and symbols and art. Every culture and every religion has it too. Believe you me, when I was doing my art stuff, I was like, wait, did I sign up for a religion class? Because I'm like doing religious artwork here in the Vatican and all these different, what's this? I didn't sign up for all these religion things, but it was just interesting to know that we people, we like to see pictures. We like to see people. We like to see activity and fun stuff. A lot of people like to watch videos. A lot of people like to do cartoons, movies, all that fun stuff. So that's just a way that we like to learn fast, you know? And even those other cultures, the different tribes, they would have their stories that they would tell, or even the Greeks, they would tell their stories to their children. And they would do it so that they could pass down their culture to the next generation and the next generation. But I mean, our world is going so fast, kind of like that Hadron Collider thing, you know, smashing particles and moving so fast. We've got technology and everything. A lot of times, because there's a lot to learn and you got to kind of keep up with the technology, we forget that there's a human element, and that we should treat people like how we would want to be treated. And we forget those old ways, you know, of having patience, kindness, long suffering, stuff like that, you know, because everybody's in a different level. And what I'm noticing is that, you know, you could be really old or really young, and the young person could really be excelling in the technology, and the old person might have a lot more wisdom about how to treat people or this or that. Everybody is on a different level of understanding. And I think that there's always benefits, even if it's your enemy, that we can learn from our enemy, because sometimes someone who doesn't like us can pick out all the little tiny things that are bad about us, and we should maybe listen to them, you know, so we can improve upon ourselves. So I just thought I would come in here and mention there was a book that I had read before I started going to college. It was by Lori Beth Jones, and it was called The Path. And she was talking about having a mission statement for your work and your life, that everybody should have like a one-liner with 3 different attributes and a cause. And so there was a couple of pages that would talk about attributes like truth, love, and patience, and different things, like a cause, like could be for everyone should be able to have water, or there'd be civil rights, or this or that, just stuff like that. Now we know in our movement, you don't necessarily want to claim the civil rights thing because that's civil Roman law, but I digress. The main thing is that whatever each one of us are passionate about, maybe it's about communicating truth. Like for me, I needed to know, first I needed to acquire the knowledge, because I don't want to just teach people anything, because I want to make sure that it's the correct thing, not just, because I like to talk or this or that, or I need someone's approval or what have you. I want to make sure that maybe I go and get the knowledge. But it's funny because you thinking that you're going to like public school systems or the universities and they're going to teach you what they want you to know. It's not necessarily going to be the truth. And like when I was taking statistics classes, the professor, I was appreciative that he said to me, statistics is not truth. If you're looking for the truth, which is what I was looking for, because I was thinking, hey, it's math. Isn't math like, doesn't math basically show you the truth and you can't go wrong? He says, statistics, is not even the truth. It's whoever's paying for the study. They can tweak the little tiny things and turn it around the other way, kind of like those voting machines that flip things. And I go, oh, that's really good to know. Okay, cool. So, I went those university routes and did psychology, sociology, which is the study of groups of people. I tried a different language, Japanese, because I really wanted to know Hebrew, but they weren't teaching it there. So I went into the ancient pictographs of the Chinese, because the Japanese do not have their own language, or at least they didn't. They do now, but they took from the Chinese trader merchants. They took the symbols of that. And then there's some words that kind of cross over, like the word Disneylando. You know what that is? That's Disneyland. Or post office. That's post office. Domo arigato. I learned that one from a song. Domo arigato, disco robato. Still remember that. But yeah, when you don't use something that you've learned, you lose it. So you gotta, it's kind of like muscles. You gotta use it or you lose it. But I think it's really important to get with other people, to get in small groups, to share information, to be able to ask questions and see, let's maybe stone sharpens stone, iron sharpens iron. Let's get to the real truth, or to the answer, to the tip. And I have learned about this ancient Hebrew pictograph, and someone had taught me about the sword, how it's got two sides, this side and that side, and it's sharp on both sides, and the tip is where you really want to get to. So whenever like someone's on this side of the discussion and someone's on that side of the discussion, sometimes they just quit. They don't keep going to get to the very tip. When you get to that tip, they use that sword to put a hole into the ground and make a hole, and then they can plant a seed, and then they water it, and then it can grow a tree and it can have fruit, and then everybody can eat. The problem with patience or communication is that oftentimes everybody wants to be, my side's right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. Well, if you keep talking long enough and get to the evidence and the proof of stuff, eventually you might get to the top, where you can plant that seed, water it, like a garden and nurture that relationship, and how can two walk together unless they agree? Oftentimes there's a lot of relationships that they go haywire because somebody just doesn't want to bend, or they don't want to listen, or they don't want to hang around, or they just don't want to, walk together. And it's really important. I think that we're created for relationships. And I think that we're created by our Creator to be creative. And oftentimes we learn certain things like how to use a computer, how to get on a Zoom, how to post things. Those types of things can help us so that we can do greater works than what Yahusha, I call Jesus Yahusha. I call him that because the J is only about 500 years old. So I know that he was never called that. So it could have been Isa, Yahusha, Yeshua. I'm not stuck on Yahusha, but the Yod, the Hey, the names of God, the letters in there in his name, it would be depicting that. Yoda, where'd you get your Yoda name from? I think I have an idea. Star Wars, right? But anyways, I'm just on here to kind of do a little checkup, a little public service announcement. With the things that I've learned, I can share those things, the studies that I've done, I can share those things, and hopefully maybe it can help other people to be able to communicate effectively and how to treat people the way that we would like to be treated. So I just thought I would put it out there, see if anybody wanted to join. It is a Friday night. 7 o'clock is when I've been doing this. When I had my little salon in a certain area, I called it Shabbat Shalom, and we'd have a potluck dinner and try to bring the community together in my salon. And that was really fun. So I just kept meeting on Friday nights. But I think because I'm aware that the calendar was changed by the Roman Church, Pope Gregory, and they added an extra day, maybe even 2 when it comes to every 4th year. I'm not so sure that Friday night to Saturday night is the Sabbath, but our calendar that we have, the Hallmark calendar, it'll say the names of the days: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Those are from the Greek, and those are like sun, moon, Friday, Saturn day, like the planets. Don't get me started on that. They changed the days of the week, the numbers, to names. So yeah, God, the creator, Yahuwah, he says that I will meet with you and sup with you. That's the 4th commandment, to keep and honor the Sabbath day. But if we, on this end of the calendar or the days that we're living in, if we don't know what day it is because the calendar was changed, they added an extra couple days to our calendar, that's going to be really difficult to know, but they have maintained, they're trying to say that Saturday is the Sabbath, and the Roman Church is trying to say, oh no, Sunday is the Sabbath. It's the Lord's day, so there's, in religion, the different ones, they'll have a certain time of day, a certain time of night, stuff like that. So that I studied a little bit in sociology and in statistics and in taking all those math classes I had to take. I do not know about the roulette wheel, but I do remember them talking about if you have a roulette wheel and then you have an empty space in there, you just make more spaces for you to win or what have you. I don't gamble, so I don't really know about that. But it's the same thing as if you had set a table at your table, dinner table, and you have a couple more extra guests. You got to make another spot. Everyone's going to be a little bit tighter, but you're going to add more people to your table. Well, that means also that the amount of food, you're going to have littler portions, stuff like that. So it's kind of the same thing about the calendar. If you add more days to the calendar, you're really going to be putting off the Sabbath. And I was reading that in the book of Jubilees, which I might have been reading it on my channel here about the book of Jubilees, that it's 364 days makes the year. And our creator, Yahuwah, he purposely gave Israel, the children of Israel, he purposely gave them feasts that are his feasts that he wants us to do, because the fact that they have special meaning. They mean certain nativity dates and certain, the bride's gonna be getting married soon, and we want to know when the return of Christ, Yahusha, is. So that's why he wants us to focus on those feast days. And that's something that I still need to look into. I don't know everything about that, but there's always that counterfeit that's going to give you a more fun party or a more fun holiday. Change all those pagan days and slap new names on and just add Christ onto there while you're at it, and have you doing the wrong things so that you don't look at the thing that's right. So if you haven't known by now, I do like to communicate. I do like to try to educate people of what I've learned and acquired. And I want to know the truth. And I try to do it with love, because that's my mission statement: to acquire knowledge, to be able to communicate with love, the things that I've learned, and to see about human development, to help people with their human development. So that's my mission statement for work and life. And each one of you can have your own mission statement for work and life. You just figure out the 3 things that you're passionate about, and maybe that cause. Mine is human development, to see people grow, because we are called to be perfect, for I am perfect. And perfect means mature. Doesn't mean OCD and have to be rigid. It means like a tree, like a peach tree. When you go to that peach tree and you pick the fruit and you bite into it, it's perfect. It's mature, it's ripe, it's sweet. It's not bitter, it doesn't have worms in it. It's not underdeveloped, it's perfect. So we are called to be perfect, for I am perfect. And like I said, it's not a perfectionistic thing. It's not something that you get a whip and, it's not like that. It's to be mature. We are called to grow up into maturity, into all things. And, not all of us have a purely balanced life, but it is good if you have a friend or somebody, even an enemy, to help you on some of the blind spots that maybe we have. We're not going to always know how to do everything, but we can learn if we're ready and open and willing to learn. So that's my message for today. Did you like it, Yoda? Did I just, get on my soapbox and tell everything? Yes, I did. Well, thank you so much for meeting me here today. And I hope that each one of you, whoever gets to watch this, thinks about those 3 things that you're passionate about. Do you like love? Do you like patience? How about the truth? What 3 things are you excited about in the world? And what cause are you really passionate about? Is it animal rights? Is it activism? Is it teaching about equity, exclusive equity? What is it that you find yourself doing? And that kind of lets you know that this is my lane. I'm going to stay in it. And if someone gives me an offer of something else, I'm just going to stay in this because this is me. And you should be able to see the person when you know their mission statement. You go, no, you're not all about that. I can tell because you're not even there yet. But it's okay to have some goals and to try to keep yourself in check and stay in that truth to get to that name change, because character and function, that is your name. That's who you're called. It's your character and function. Like, think of a hammer. A hammer hammers. A nail is to attach something. These have a character and a function. So it's the same type of thing. And I like to learn about the ancient Hebrew pictograph, because those pictures mean a lot more than a lot of words. So I will leave you with that. And you have a great evening and be blessed.